first band was a cover band in college, of course. A lot of people start that way.
Nothing wrong with that, yeah.
We did everything from Brown Eyed Girl to New Order. And that's a good way to learn stuff. But the first gig was at the college pub. We only had a few. And then I guess it was summer break, and I went to NYU for a summer, and I saw tons of bands when I was living in New York for my first summer. Wow. This was '92.
Good time to be here.
So when I came to live in New York, working for Dave Kendall from 120 Minutes, he had one season on a network TV. It was called Music Scoop.
Okay.
That was my first job, assisting him. I played with a lot of different people. I went to the Village Voice and looked in the back, and you know, before internet.
Yeah, right.
I remember this is kind of a funny story. I forgot about this until this moment. I was looking at the bass players wanted ads in the Village Voice, and I saw the influences were there, and it sounded interesting. And I show up, and the guy had a bunch of people show up. Yeah, but not all bass players. He just wanted to meet people and just kind of feel it out. And there was a drummer named AJ there, and we listened to this guy's stuff. And AJ and I we just said, "Hi, nice to meet you," but we looked at each other like this. And then we left going, "Oh, hells no." And we struck up a friendship, and I jammed with AJ in many different little projects for a while. He was working at Morton's of Chicago. We were the Morton's of Chicago holiday band. And then he got me into my first real band, Serpentine, which was kind of like a Middle Eastern, gothic, hippie kind of thing.
Wow.
It was cool. We played real gigs. We played Knitting Factory. We played festivals. We played pagan festivals.
Wow.
And then the next, I played with a lot of people in between, but the next real band that I got into was Battershell, which I actually auditioned for.
Right. How was that?
They actually put out ads around the whole country.
Okay.
I didn't see the ads. I was playing in a side project with Les Warner from The Cult, and he knew their publicist, so their publicist called my landline, left a message on the phone saying, "Hi, this is Dana from NG Records. You're playing with Les. I know Les. We're looking for a bass player for this band Battershell. We wanted to know if you were interested." And so they sent me the stuff in the mail, and I thought, cool, sure, I like it. It's cool. I'll learn it. And I went in. I was the 200th. They told me. I don't think they were exaggerating, because they were flying people in from all over the country. 200th some odd bass player to audition.
Wow.
And it was Tammy and Charlie. It was a three-piece.
Right.
And they looked at each other. They're like, "Yeah, let's bring her back," you know. So I played with the band for months before they said I was in it, but I was the only one they really called back. And so I remember, you know, it's like, "Charlie, I'm in, right?" He goes, yeah, well, for now. So, and then I learned the demos they made for the second record from the old bass player, who was originally a guitar player.
Okay.
And they're very, very melodic and all over the place, but it worked. It was a three-piece kind of punky band, and so the bass lines were more of the melodic-y things. And I remember Tammy she's like, "You're in boot camp. You're in boot camp," and she like cracked the whip on me to really learn them. And my first beautiful recording experience was in Cambridge at that place that closed. What's it called? Oh, huge place in Cambridge. Well, it's unfortunate because my favorite records I've been on never got released. The 22s spent so long and so much money. Well, Epic spent so much money. Recording, mixing, mastering. We spent 3 weeks in Nashville with Jakir, and we loved it. You know, the whole band did. They paid for it. We went home, and the label goes, "Oh, we're going to give it to Mark Needham. He did The Killers." And we thought, we spent 3 weeks, you know, what? And Mark Needham never met us, and then he remixed the record. We actually really liked it. So it was about 70% Mark Needham, and, you know, a little bit of Jakir King, a little bit of Bryce Goggin, who produced it. Got mastered.
Okay, so it's all ready to come out.
Steve Barnett was the president at the time. He left, and then Charlie Watt came in, and he said to us, you don't sound like Hole, because it was female fronted.
Right.
You don't sound like the Donnas. I mean, who wanted to?
Right.
I don't know how to market you. And we got shelved. The Warped Tour in 2005, it was 110 degrees sometimes during the day. Our set was earlier on, 3 p.m., 2 p.m. We were on the Volcom stage. And sometimes it was so hot that the stage would burn my feet, even if I'm wearing shoes.
Wow.
And all of our gear, our van, everything stolen in Dallas, out of a parking lot of a hotel during the day. We were just napping. So we thought, oh, it's during the day, we can leave our gear in there. We're going to leave, you know, gone. Never got anything back. We had vintage gear, we had merch, we had a beautiful video camera Sony gave us to make sure we got all sorts of footage, all the footage. My keyboard player had a book of how she made every sound because she didn't want to use the factory sounds, and it was called her Bible, just in case her keyboards ever got missing or stolen or broken. She had the Bible. The Bible was stolen. I had a 76 Rickenbacker, a white one that I had owned for 10 years at that point. That was stolen. I cried like I lost a child.
Yeah, sure.
Took me 5 years to replace it with one that was affordable and great.